Hi guys, so today we have my beautiful model Fufu and we're going to be creating a soft glam look. To begin, I'm going to use the YSL Touche Clay Primer. It has a gel-like formula and it really absorbs into the skin and makes the makeup float right on. Then I prime the lips with this lavender lip balm to prevent any dryness when I apply the lipstick later. Moving on to foundation, I use the NARS Sheer Glow in the shade Santa Fe. I use the foundation to kind of create a base for the highlight and contour. It's not necessarily full coverage. I use the round end of the Beauty Blender to dab the foundation in. You want to make sure you're not wiping any foundation off with it. Now I'm going to go in with this NARS concealer called Vanilla, and I'm going to highlight the areas of her face. I'm going to go under her eyes in a triangle shape all the way almost down to the corner of her mouth and then pull back the face. I'm also going to do the center of the forehead, middle of her nose, and right under her cheekbones. I use the other end of the Beauty Blender to dab in the concealer. I later go in with the Kat Von D powder brush to blend in any lines and give the foundation a really seamless finish. I'm going to enhance her bone structure by using a contour technique. For this, I use the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand in the shade Fair Medium. I go in on her forehead, right under her cheekbones, her nose, and right above and below her lips. To blend all this in, I use a MAC blending brush. I first go in circular motions and then I pull the brush back and forth to drag the highlight and the contour together and create a gradient. I use the MAC oval brush in number 3 to blend in the nose contour. I want to make sure that I just blur out the lines and they're not moving. If the dark lines on the nose contour are too off to the sides, it will end up making the nose look wider instead of slimming it. Next, I take the Fenty Matchstick in the color French Vanilla and I draw a line from her trachea to the corner of her mouth. This is going to sharpen up the contour and give her cheekbones a more lifted and sculpted look. This Kat Von D brush is actually for powder, but I use it to blend in foundations, concealers, and contour. It gives a really flawless finish. Here I use the MERCIER Secret Brightening Powder, and I would put this right under her eyes, usually where people have bags or darkness, and I just use a little bit of this product before I bake. For the brows, I use 3 key products to create a natural hair-like effect. I begin with the Makeup Forever Aqua Gel. A little goes a long way with this product because it's extremely pigmented and once you apply it, it doesn't move. So the trick is to apply a minimal amount on the back of your hand. Then take a small angled brush, dip it in the product, and begin making feather-like strokes. Then I take a NYX brow marker and I go in and I start to draw individual hairs and it gives it the same effect as microblading your eyebrows would. Here I just brush off the loose powder and then I quickly go over the nose contour. I use the NARS Liquid Blush in Orgasm by putting a little bit on my hands and warming it up and then dabbing it in the skin with a Beauty Blender. For the eyes, I begin with a paint pot by MAC in the shade Indian Summer. I'm going to take this with the MAC 217 eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to create a base for the eyes and pull out a little bit of color in the outer V. We're going to prime under the eyes as well, since we will be putting eyeshadow there too. After the eyes are primed, I go in with the color Fake Tan from the Natasha Denona Tropic Palette and a Makeup Forever eyeshadow brush. I start off in the outer V and pull the color a little bit out and upwards to lift the eye. I also go in the crease and use this color as a transition shade. For the center of the lid, I use the NARS Dual Intensity eyeshadow in the color Dione. I also use a flat MAC eyeshadow brush because I just want to pack on the color and I want it to stay put. To create a gradient between these two colors, I go back into my Natasha Denona palette and I use the color Vintage Tape. It has a little bit of pink lavender undertones, and it's not only going to blend these two colors nicely, but it's also going to create a more cohesive look when I do the lip. For eyeliner, I use the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Limitless Brown. I'm going to pull it out at the end of the lid to create a really subtle wing. Farrah has really long natural lashes, so before I go on with the falsies, I'm going to take this Marc Jacobs mascara and put a light layer of mascara on them. I'm going to use the NARS Kabuki brush and the blush in their color Desire. It's extremely pink and it can be a little alarming, but it's actually a universal shade and it's really easy to build up. Here I buff everything out with the Makeup Forever fluffy brush, and this is just going to give everything a really clean and seamless look. You never want to have any harsh lines, especially in the face. For the lip, I use the Dior Liquid Lipstick in Jungle Matte and the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Universal Earth. This was the same pencil I used as eyeliner. They're actually very blendable, but they don't smudge, so they can be used for brow, eyes, and lips. I draw a line in the center of the lip to give the lips a more pout appearance. What it's going to do is it's going to break up the bottom lip and make each side look a little fuller. To complete the lip and to give it a more moisturized and voluminous look, I take the Chanel lip gloss in the color Caress and another lip gloss and start off in the center and then bring a little bit more shine to the sides. Here's a little Mario Badescu Rose Water to break up the powder and get ready for the highlighter. For highlight, I use the Amrezy by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I highlight in a V shape from her brow bone to her cheekbone. I also highlight the bridge of her nose, a little tip in the center, and then her Cupid's bow. Lastly, I use the Makeup Forever Brow Gel in Clear, and I go over the brow hairs, giving them a more natural and youthful, thick appearance.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit like down below. Thanks for watching.